There are three simple ways that you can make money with AI as a complete beginner. And I'm going to show you each one of them simply stated. Before I do that, though, I'm going to show you this. 1 second. 100,000 on stand. Okay, the reason I'm showing you this is because I recently got this plaque, very heavy plaque, for making $100,000 on Stand Store from selling digital products. And 10 years ago, I was homeless, sleeping on the floor of an airport. Since then, I've gone on to generate millions and millions of dollars, and I've invested in 200 companies led by women, people of color, and LGBTQ+. And I was able to do that because I saw things early. Okay. So for a long time, I was homeless. A long time, I was struggling, but then I could always see things a little bit early. And I'm telling you that what I'm about to tell you is that again. I'm seeing it early and I'm making sure you know about it. So please take notes. Please take this seriously and let's get into it. Before we start, let me know in the comments, say, I love this, or I'm ready, or let's go, to let me know that you are really in this. You're serious about it. And I'm telling you, it's simple. I wish this stuff existed 10 years ago because I wouldn't have been homeless, right? I wish it existed. But it's so simple. And the reason I'm making this video specifically is because I woke up today. It's like the weekend. I just turned 45 a couple of days ago. And I said, there's so many people struggling right now. There's so many people lost and they're scared. And there is a way. And there are also people who are working themselves to the bone for other people. And they're making maybe 30,000 a year, 40, 50,000 a year. If that's you, let me know in the comments. Like, I'm working a lot. I make 50,000 or less, right? If you make $50,000 or less a year, you're going to want to listen to me right now because this could change everything for you. You could be making the equivalent of what you make working for someone else or even more by just selling digital products online. And there are different types of digital products. I'm going to tell you about three specific ones, though, that I think are going to be super helpful to you. Okay, so are you ready? Let's go. The first one is you are going to sell AI prompts. And AI prompts are just the words and sentences and questions that people put into things like ChatGPT to get answers. It's just the prompt, the sentence that goes in. And the better the prompt, the better the outcome, the better the result for the person. And as AI gets better and better and grows and evolves every single week, something else is coming out, the prompts are going to be more important than ever. So it's going to be really important that people have quality prompts, but they're not going to be able to keep up with the growth and the evolution of AI. So that's where you can come in and sell the prompts, the inputs that will make the best results. You don't even have to come up with them on your own. I have a way for you to just have them handed to you on a silver platter. So what you do is you go to the description below in the video description, and I have my prompt shop in a box where I hand you hundreds of prompts that are pre-made, pre-vetted. I've used every single one of them to test them. And then you get an unlimited GPT, which means like a version of Chat GPT, basically, that you get to use whether you've paid for it or not. You can have a free version that you get to use to make unlimited numbers of new prompts. And it acts like me handing you the prompt. So you could sell these prompts. Now, if you say, well, why would somebody want to buy a sentence from me or buy words from me? It's first of all, it's currently a $1 billion industry right now in 2025. It is a $1 billion industry and it's predicted to go up by 10x over the next 8 years. So it's growing, right? And it's not something that is so well known. You might not even have known about it up until this point. It's not so well known that people are just like cannibalizing it, right? They're just taking over. You are in early. Like I said, I've seen things earlier. So you could sell this. Now, another reason is because it's like a recipe. Why do people buy recipe books? Why do people buy recipes at a time? You may have purchased just a sheet of paper or an online PDF that was a recipe for food. Why would you do that when you could figure it out on your own? Because of convenience, because you may not know exactly what things combine to make the outcome that you want. Why would you buy more than one? Because you want a book of recipes that you can go through and flip through depending on what your taste is that day. That is what this is. You're selling these prompts like a recipe. If that is something that is just like clicking for you right now, put it in the comments and let me know because I really want to hear from you like we're talking to each other. Okay. So like it's a recipe or an individual recipe you can sell for $3, 5, 10, 20. I have these prompts that go up to $97 per prompt. And then you could sell them as a bundle. That's the equivalent of selling a recipe book. Let me hand you over all these recipes that are in the same lane and you can have depending on what you like that day, what you need that day. And those will be, hey, here's a prompt pack for $10, for $20, for $50. And it's like worth so much because the person didn't have to go out and investigate, research, ideate, strategize, figure it all out like I did to create the prompts, or like you will have access to my GPT that just hands you the prompts. They didn't have to do that. So of course they're going to want that convenience. They want to get out of pain as quickly as possible, and you're going to be the person that helps them do that. So that's just one way that you can make money as a complete beginner because all you're doing is copying and pasting. If you go to the description in the description box below or the pinned comment and you go to my prompt shop and you buy my prompt shop, it is just $99 today. It could go up anytime, but it's just $99. And you get hundreds of prompts already pre-made, recipes made for you. You get an unlimited GPT so that you can make multiple ones. And I give you all the training that you need. If you're like, I like the idea, but I don't know exactly how to do this, I give you video training. So you have everything you need and you have a group of people. Right now, there are about 250 people who joined in the first 2 weeks or a week and a half. And they're in there right now and they're telling you what's working, how to do this, answer this question. And I'm in there. So it's probably a $2,000 product, if we're being honest, but it's $99. So that's one way. If that was cool, if you're already like the wheels are spinning, let me know because I promise you, if 10 years ago, if this existed, I would have been all over it. I would have found a way. You can even pay it in three payments, I think. If you go to the link on a desktop, they give you options. It gives you options. Stand Store gives you options. Okay. The second way is that you use the same prompts. All right. So everybody's talking about AI and you're thinking, oh, I have to like learn how to code or be kind of like a vibe coder. I have to know how to do all this. You don't have to do any of that if you don't want to. You can, but this way is just copy paste. So now the second way is you use the same prompts that I just described to you, the ones that I have pre-made for you, the recipes, and the ones that are in the unlimited GPT. And you actually do the thing for the person, for your customer. So if you think about this, I've made a lot of money from doing things for other people rather than, you can teach, show, or do, right? You can teach them how to do it in a course. You can show them how to do it on a workshop, or you can do one-on-ones and walk them through it. These are very viable. But then there's the do. And do sometimes is where you can charge the most. And it's also sometimes where like it's the easiest to sell because it's like, I'm just going to do this. Like, you need a new website, I'm going to make a new website for you and you just pay me for it, right? Like sometimes that's just the simplest transaction. So what you could do, this is a hack that nobody is talking about. No, I haven't heard anybody talking about this, okay? So you're in on the inside at the very beginning of this. What you could do, and think about it logically, okay? You have the prompts, all the ones I just told you that you could resell. Instead of reselling them, or in addition to, you could use the prompts, especially the more complex ones, to just do the thing for the person. So let's say there's somebody who wants their Instagram bio redone. Well, you could use one of the prompts in the prompt shop. You could say, okay, for $25 or for $10, here's the prompt, and it'll redo your bio. So buy the prompt from me. And then they buy it and you don't have to do anything, right? They buy it. That's really cool. Multiple people do that. That's one way. This is type one. But the type two, the way two is you say, hey, everybody, I'm revamping Instagram bios. I'm using my proprietary AI to do that. It costs $25. Within 24 hours, you will have your bio that you can just copy and paste. And then what you do is when they buy that for $25, you have them answer 2 or 3 questions about themselves and what they want. You plug in to the prompt that I've given you or the GPT that I've given you, and you just do it for them. You do it for them, and then you hand it back to them. And they didn't have to do it. They didn't have to think through it. They didn't have to like set everything up and ask the perfect questions. And then you just handed it to them on a silver platter. So it's like you're setting up when you think about what the prompt shop in a box really is, it's like so many layers to it. It's the prompts themselves that you can use. Like you can use the prompts even if you never resell them. How crazy is that? You could just get the prompt shop in the box and just use the prompts that are retailed at more than $1,000. Or you could resell it white label and say these are prompts, buy them, and then have it like a vending machine or have it like a recipe book, which a lot of people are doing. Or you could use it to set up your shop, like your foundation. So this is how you are able to now process things for people. And then think about how creative you could get and how you promote that. Because what people really care about is the outcome. They care about the results, right? Think about what you care about. They care about the results. So they don't care, oh, she went to the prompt shop and she did that. They just want to know, give me my bio. Give me the 10 email sequence that I should send out to my customers. Because by the way, that's included in the prompt shop. An email sequence to send to your customers. Instead of selling that to your customer only, you could just plug in their, like ask them 2 or 3 questions and it's the same questions that you ask everybody. So it's not like you have to do all this work. You ask them a question. Okay, they pay for it. You ask them the questions. You plug in their answers into what you have available in the prompt shop, in that GPT that we have, etc. And you say, okay, make me these emails. This is for my customer. They are a wellness shop in Philadelphia, and they want to make emails for their big special that they're doing for Black Friday. They would like 10 emails, and these are the 2 answers they gave me as to what they're trying to accomplish. Paste that in there, get the 10 emails, paste the 10 emails into a PDF or even make it nicer in Canva, whatever you'd like, whatever's easiest for them. Hand it over to them on a silver platter, and maybe they paid you $30 or $300 because it's about what it's worth. What is it worth? What is the value of this outcome? And why did they pay you? For convenience, for speed, for not having to worry. They don't have to worry and figure it out on their own. And you just have to worry one time because all you do is say, what are 1 or 2 things I want to be able to do for people? Let me learn that. Okay, I learned it. I have the infrastructure because I have Prompt Shop in a box, which again is the description below. You can just get it right now. And you have instant access to all these things. And then you could say, okay, I like this prompt and I like this GPT. This is gonna be kind of the cockpit, like this is now headquarters. And then you just promote it. And I'm gonna tell you in a moment, because I know you're asking, well, who do I promote it to? How do I sell this? So that's the second way. The third way is that you could create and sell a GPT itself and sell access to it. So I have in my prompt shop in a box, believe it or not, I have custom GPTs that you can resell. So there's one GPT that is the unlimited GPT that you cannot resell. That's for you to use it as a licensee because you get a license to resell white label, right? Just for $99, all of this that I'm talking about. So that's internal. But I sell other GPTs as part of the prompt shop. So you could resell the way to make the GPT, right? You could say, okay, here's the PDF. This teaches you how to make the GPT. Or you could make the GPT and sell access to it. So you make it one time with the formula recipe, and then you're like, oh, I love this. This is awesome. And like some people are not going to want to spend an hour, 2 hours training it, updating it, but you might. And you might say, yeah, I'll take 2 hours to make this GPT and look at the training and figure it out. Yeah, I'll do it. And it's not hard. I promise you it's not hard. And you do that, and then you sell access to it. So you put in your stand store on your school, and I teach you all about how to do that, right? You might say, okay, you get access to this custom GPT. You can call it that if you want, or you can just say to this AI tool that will write all of your email copy or that will do all of your meditations for the whole year. It'll create the entire year. If you use it once a week, it'll print out the 7 meditations for that week that are based on my meditation methods. Because and you're like, well, how did I do that? With my unlimited GPT that you got with the prompt shop in a box, you were able to customize that and make that. So now you say, okay, pay me $50. I'm just making up a number, right? Pay me $50 for access to that year round. Or you might put it into your school and now it's part of, part of the bundle of your school, or have it as a standalone on Stand Store. The ideas are limitless. So you do that and then you sell it over a year's time. You sell it to however many people. You sell it to 800 people. You sell 2 a day. So you make $100 a day just by doing that one time setup. But you're like, okay, so if I sell, like, let's say you sold one of those a day for $50. Like in your world, an average, you were selling one a day and you made about 25,000 from that. It's already 25,000. That's just one. Let's say you had a second one over here. You sold the prompts, or you sold the done for you service. You see what I'm saying? It adds up. You can choose one of these 3, or you can choose all 3 of them, or a combination. Now you're saying, how do I sell it? Now, first, before I tell you how to sell it, because I'm going to tell you 3 ways that you are going to be able to sell this within hours, okay? What I want you to do is I want you to subscribe to this channel if you haven't yet. And I want you to leave a comment and even like the video. It's kind of, corny to ask for this, but let me tell you the truth. I have grown on YouTube exponentially over the past year. YouTube is a phenomenal way for you to sell your prompts or your services, okay? So I want you to watch what I'm doing. And one of the things that I learned is that the more people who subscribe and like in a video, the more YouTube will put it out there. So if you have enjoyed this so far and you're ready for the next piece where it's going to tell you how to actually sell this, and you want more people to know about it, or you just simply want to support me and you're not yet subscribed, go ahead and subscribe. And if you are subscribed, leave it as is and make sure you like the video and comment on it. It just helps. It's just the truth. All right. And if you do that, I grow more and I'm able to put out these videos to give to you for free. Because really, the truth of the matter is you could take everything I just told you and run with it and never pay me a penny. Isn't that right? Like, it's true, right? If you're still here, we're going to do a code word like we like to do. Our code word is sure. 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 Say, I'm sure. Yes, I'm sure. That tells me that you've made it to this point of the video. Now, how do you sell it? How do you market it? And then how do you sell it? I'm going to give you 3 simple ways. Okay. 3 simple ways for you to get started right away so that you don't have to think about all these different core traffic sources and then the sub ways. There's like 12 different ways I could teach you. I'm going to teach you 3 simple, straightforward ways. And you can use one or more of these starting today. You do not have to wait. You go to the link in the description, you pick up the Prompt Shop in the Box, and then you just get started. And if you're already in Prompt Shop in the Box and you're watching this there, because I am going to post it there, use these and just kind of heighten what you're already doing. Okay. The first way is you're going, and then remember, you can choose all three or you can choose one or two. The first simple way, and it is simple because I'm basing it on it's handwritten. Like it's not like I'm just like, you know, going to somebody and saying, "Oh, how do you do this?" I do this every day. I make thousands of dollars a day. So I'm telling you what I do now, and I'm telling you what I would do if I came back to me 10 years ago and I'm homeless or I'm like sleeping on somebody's couch and I don't know how to make ends meet. This I could do, okay? So the one thing you're going to do is now that you have figured out which of these ways you want to deliver these prompts, is now you're going to say, let me just talk to people I know. I'm going to contact people that I already know. And that could be people who have already purchased from you, if at all. And if you don't have anybody who's ever purchased from you, that's okay. But you have friends and you have family and you have coworkers and you have people you've met at events or people that know people. You're not even going to just think about the people you know, but there's a woman named Patrice Moore who I think she has some really great ideas, and she calls it web. I forgot exactly what she calls, but it's like a web thing, right? Where she says, think about the people you know and think about the people they know. So when you send out something, you might send a DM, you might send a text, you might send an email to them. You may even talk to them face to face or on the phone, and you're just talking, you're just like writing. First of all, write down a list of 10, 20, 30 people, because if this is important to you, you're going to do this, right? So write down a list and say, okay, these are some of the people who might be interested in something like this. It's going to be a little awkward because I already know them, but they might be interested and it might help them. It might help them. People are always swapping recipes. People are always swapping, this is working for me, girl. Be that person. Okay. So think about who would want your prompts or who would want your access to the GPT or who would want you to just do something for them, the three ways I taught you. Then you're going to think about who they might know. And you're going to say, I don't know who everybody knows, but I know that maybe if I put out the DM or the text that says, hey, I have this where, this AI tool that helps you put all your emails together, like gives you like 10 email nurture secrets because you're going to have to do that, or it helps you decide what to wear tomorrow or whatever your lane is. Okay. You're going to also say, do you know anybody else who would want it? Because I would love for you to take a look at it. But also, if you think of anybody else who might be interested, let me know. Because then that person is then going to think of their 4 or 5, 10 people that they may think would be interested in it. And it's just like this, it's going to go out, out, out. And if you send that to 10, 20, 30 people or more, because you're really serious about it, somebody is going to want it. Not even of those 30 people, but maybe the 100 people on the web. So that's the one way. So just start very small by thinking about 1, 2, 3 people and really think about it and start sending messages out. People did this. Let me show you real quick before I get to the other ones. Let me just show you something because people did this. You might say, well, I can't do that. People have been doing this in my Your First 5K Club, which I also will link below. So it's Your First 5K Club. It has 2.2 thousand people as of right now. And people have just been doing this. And I'll just show you this. This was, Vershel says, Arlan, I think I finally found my person. After investing in multiple classes and offers, you have broken barriers and moles, and I need to be in the room with you, lady. The pivot and shift is so real to me, but I believe I can figure this out now. See you in 2026. That's what people are. She just said that 38 minutes ago. Like people are so excited inside of Your First 5K Club because they're figuring it out. And what I was going to show you is in our 5-day challenge, you get this when you come in, your first $100 challenge, all kinds of people were getting all kinds of results on day one, right? On day one, people were doing it. Okay. Finalized my offer and they were sending. So on day two, I said, promote your offer. And so people started promoting and then okay. So then I said, well, what if you have no audience? On day three, this is how you do it. So this is just so you know, like you can have support around all of this because you can go to Your First 5K, you're probably already in it. And you can take this thing, but look what I went from 6 to 19 followers in 1 week. I didn't let my fear of putting myself out there stop me. This is day 3 of a challenge. Okay. Last week I posted my offer on LinkedIn. I decided to do a free call and exchange. They go on and say how it worked out, right? Making progress, courage, and excitement. Share a tip, interviews. It's loading. And then sell your offer. Look what happened. For day 4, I got $1,000 in one day. I got my first sale. I made 30% commission online, $100 how to convert clicks to cash. Progress. She made $1,200. So it's all it takes, honestly, is for you to just make the commitment. I'm going to do this because I still have 2 more ways for you to promote, but most people are going to say, I can't do that. And they're going to stop and then it's just over. But you see what happens when you work with me, for a few days to set yourself up for success. And there are hundreds of people in your first 5K who've made $5,000 since joining. So the prompt shop, I wanted to show you this really quick too. So inside the prompt shop, this is what it looks like inside. I saw this just yesterday was posted. It's so cool. Okay, so it says Pixels for the Win. And Pixels is a website that I teach you about how to make these thumbnails for your YouTube videos. Okay, so she said Pixels for the Win. The other day, I accidentally signed up for the annual premium version of Pixels because she heard about it from me. And I haven't regretted it, not once. It's so cool, guys. Are you kidding me? This is unreal. One of my friends was like, your thumbnails go so hard. I'm dressed as a referee for Halloween today. Arlan Hamilton's Prompt Shop in a Box GPT. She had them write the prompts and bam, fly thumbnails. Chef's kiss, LOL. This made it so easy to upload my new videos. I would have still been dragging my feet trying to create them in Canva. Bottom line, invest in yourself and your business. Look at these. Let's look at these real quick. So she made this on Pixels by typing from my GPT that's included in the 99 prompt shop in a box. She made this, okay? Look at these. These are all the kind of things that people would click on, right? It's fly. Okay, so it's so cool. It's so cool. So you can use Pixels, you can use ChatGPT. I think Pixels is much, much, much better at the video, at the pictures. Okay. So I just wanted to show you that. But then in here, custom GPT, we're talking about unlimited prompts. This is 2 days ago. Rosalind said, just watching your training video on the custom GPT. Arlen, your brilliance is unmatched. Thank you. And then we have the best business purchase I have ever made 11 days ago. Marie said, I honestly so excited right now. Buying Arlen's prompt shop in a box has to be one of the best purchases I've ever made. I'm getting so much done and it all just clicks. The prompts are ridiculously easy to adapt to my niche. No confusion, no overwhelm, just results, just awesome results. So I just wanted to show you that like people are in there, right? Like it's working. So the second way you say, okay, so there's one way is I'm going to reach out to people I know. And that way honestly works. You saw how many people, I don't know if you saw all of it, but in my challenge, people were saying, I just put out a couple of text messages or on something on WhatsApp and people wrote back, right? So it works. So the second way is that you're going to make content so that you don't have to go out to people if you don't want to. So you'll make content because you have control over the inputs. You have control over what you do. Like I'm right now, I'm filming this, right? It's Saturday morning. I could be watching TV, I could be resting, and I might just after this. But what I said when I woke up was, I'm going to post this particular video because it's on my mind. And I want more people to understand this opportunity. I'm posting it. And yes, I'm going to make money from this video, right? So you could post on YouTube and don't tell me, oh, I don't want to be caught out there. Listen, listen, you are, and I am a grain of rice in this world. Think about, look at all the YouTube channels. You don't have to you don't have to do a reality show. You don't have to do anything silly. You're just helping people understand something they didn't understand before. You are acting as a bridge. You are giving people a voice who may not have one, who may not be brave enough, who may not understand how to do something. You're going to walk them through it. Okay. And I teach all about YouTube inside of your first 5K. So again, the links below, I teach it on my Stand store. You're set when it comes to YouTube. There's no excuse for YouTube. Okay. Instagram, Substack if you want to, LinkedIn. So that second way of selling is I'm going to produce content. And guess what? I know this is crazy, but guess what? Inside of my prompt shop that you get in a box that you get handed to you are multiple prompts about scripting for YouTube. Like there's a whole GPT that teaches you how to script. I mean, doesn't teach you, it scripts your YouTube videos for you. There's a whole GPT included that scripts all of your YouTube videos. That alone is worth thousands of dollars and it's included. There's ones that tell you this is what you put on Instagram. This is your creation calendar. This is, I mean, everything you need. It should even be called prompt shop in a box. It should be called your business in a box. Your entire AI business in a box is what it should be called. But that's what you get. So you're going to put that second way is you're going to put content out there, and some content is going to take longer to start to resonate, and some content you can put it up like a reel or something that is like, on LinkedIn, and people will see it starting immediately. So imagine if you chose both of these and you didn't say, I'm going to be limiting myself. I want to put out things to people directly that I know or who I know. And I'm going to also start putting some content up. And I'm going to just bypass that whole thing where I'm saying that I can't. It's going to take me weeks to get it started. Just start. Just start. Just start. Put that in the comments if you're still with me. Just start. Okay. And the third way, if you're ready for the third way, please also let me know if this has been helpful to you, if you're going to go out and do something about it. I can't wait to see you inside of the prompt shop in a box and your first 5K. Both of those, it's $150 total. 100. So your first 5K costs $50 a year, and prompt shop in a box costs one payment of 99. You don't pay more. $150 to kickstart things. And I can't even. Okay. There's some people who have made 10, $20,000 inside of your first 5K. There's some people who have made hundreds of dollars, right? And everywhere in between. And the prompt shop, I mean, you can't even define the value of the prompt shop, because if you took every single prompt and you used it for yourself, I can't even imagine how much value that is. I can't even quantify it. At some point, I will try to figure it out, but it's just invaluable. All right. So the third way, what's the third way? The third way is a way that I don't know that everybody is going to do. You don't have to do this. You don't have to do any of them, but you don't have to do this one. But it is a way that you get to kind of control who sees your offer, who at least gets to see that you have something to sell. And that's through paid ads or paid promo. So before you click off, let me tell you what I mean by that, because most people talk about paid ads like Facebook ads, YouTube ads, Instagram ads, and that's fine. But I'm telling you, what about those newsletters that people have, those email lists that people have of 5,000, 20,000, 100,000 people who are in your lane? You may not have that. You may not be able to have that big of an audience yet, but you get to borrow and rent theirs. Not even borrow, you get to rent theirs. So let's say somebody has 20,000 people on an email list for painters, and you will have a painting prompt situation going because that's your niche. Just as an example, dancing, making like bed linens, food, wellness. There's all kinds of doctors, lawyers, everybody can use this. By the way, doctors and lawyers, you have an advantage. You have an advantage. Teachers, you have an advantage because there's so much prompting you can do. Anyway, let's say that you have that lane, and that somebody because you're on their email list and you like what they have to say. They may do a weekly, like, here are the top 3 trends, or here's what I have to say. Like, I think real quickly, there's a woman named Nikki Saunders, who's a friend of mine, and she's poured into our ecosystem a lot. She has a weekly newsletter. I could go to her and you could go to that person and you could say, how much would it cost for me to promote to your audience? Because I have this offer. Take a look at this offer. You could say, look, I'm in a school, and I have a school and it does XYZ and it includes these prompts and includes, community and all that. And I give 40% commission or 20% commission or whatever commission I give, because you can set that up in school really easily. SKOOL. That's the platform that I use as well. And you can say, I give commission. Do you want to sign up for it and post about me? And then you get the commission for any links that get clicked and people buy. So you don't even have to pay up front. Are you hearing me? Like, if you stay to this part of the video, I'm giving you such game. You don't even have to pay up front if you can do the negotiating with the person. Say, listen, You have a larger audience than I have. I'm just getting started when it comes to my audience, but I know my offer is really helpful to your audience. So join my school, which costs, whatever it costs. I can even invite you for free. That's easy. You don't have to pay for it. I'll invite you for free. Get your affiliate link that everybody gets as part of my, because I've set it up in the background, the affiliate, because it's school helps you do that. And then put that link, I can tell you what to write. Put that link into your email, your next email, instead of you just sending an email that may or may not be monetized. Now 20 people signed up for my offer and you just made $800 or 2,000 or whatever it is. Make those negotiations and those collaborations, those partnerships with people, not just straightforward, here, Meta, here's my money. Now, going back to that though, you could just pay $10, $15 a day on Meta ads, and it goes out to WhatsApp, it goes out to Instagram, it goes out to Facebook. And that'll go out to a few hundred people. They'll see it, depending on how many, what your niche is. And then some of them will click on it and at least be exposed to your offer. And you can look at it every single day and say, okay, is this working? How much does it cost to get? Is anybody buying from it? And yes, it's not like you can just start right now. I don't want anybody in the comments saying, well, doing ads is hard. You didn't make it sound hard. It is hard. It is a complex thing to learn, but it's not impossible. All you have to do is look at 2 hours of information on YouTube about setting up your ads. And then that sets you up for decades if you wanted to. So it's to me, it's like, yeah, I could spend 20 minutes writing a comment complaining about how hard things are, or I could spend that 20 minutes learning on a YouTube channel, which is what I do every day. So I'm not taking any prisoners here. We are not messing around right now. In a world where your benefits can be taken from you, people are out here starving, people are out here struggling, people are out here having midlife crises. We're not going to sit around and just sit around and say, oh, well, it hasn't worked that way in the past, so I can't do it. We're not timid anymore. I need you to, as my sister-in-law says, buck up. I need you to buck up. I need you to stand in it and say, look, I'm tired of life telling me what to do. I'm tired of working for somebody else and depending on their mood for how my day is going to go. I'm just going to start to set things up now because there are thousands of people who are doing exactly what I just said, and they're making it work over and over and over again. You have this free information in this video. You have $150 if you combine your first 5K and prompt shop in a box to get you so much further. Like if I had those tools, those two tools 10 years ago, I would have been out of homelessness within 2 weeks. I'm telling you, within 2 weeks, because I would have been like, oh, this is a formula. All I have to do is set this up, get this free trial, do this, set this up, use ChatGPT for free. I'm done. Let's go. So don't let this be an excuse. Don't let this year go by and you're like, I'm in the same place I was last year. In the same place I was, because you're going to get so complacent and it's going to be harder and harder and harder to move. Make the move now. You have to. You have to change your circumstances. Let's say you make $100,000 or more. Let's say you are the doctor, the lawyer, the person I called out earlier. What would it feel like to make 2 times what you make by doing half the work? So 4x the total, 0.5 the work. What would that feel like? This is how you can do it. The ways that I just laid out, take that, let your imagination and your talents and your skills take you to the next level. Because even if you're a beginner at digital products and a beginner at online sales, you are not a beginner in life. And you have conversations, that's sales, that's negotiation. You have presented anywhere, you have talked to more than one person at a time, that's presentations, that's marketing. You have the skills innately in you, you're just calling it something else. And you're telling yourself a story that someone else has told you before or that you believe about yourself that is false. Okay? You can do this. I have seen it happen over and over and over again. But what I've also seen are people sitting on the sidelines saying, I can't do it, with their arms folded, their mouths pouty, and saying, I can't do it because of this reason, because of this reason. Tell me a reason, and I'll tell you why you can't. Now, yes, one in every 10,000 people may not be able to truly do this, but I know everybody watching this right now has a chance, no matter where you live, no matter what your age is, no matter what you have been through in life. You have a chance to change it. And if you don't want to do any of this technical stuff, let's say you're 70 and you heard this, but you don't want to necessarily do any of this. Like you're like, I'm tired. Find someone in your family, find a child, find a nephew, a niece, and say, listen, come over here, watch this video with me, and you help me set this up. And I'll give you 10% of what we make. You're teaching them about entrepreneurship, you're getting stuff done, you can watch TV. And I'm not saying just because you're 70, you wouldn't want to do it. I'm just saying for those people who don't want to do it or feel like they can't do it, there's probably somebody in your life who is like, oh, yeah, I'll do this for, with some sort of exchange. Let's go. Or I'll do it just because I love you. Let's go. I'm doing that with a couple of my nieces and nephews. I'm like, I have, we're doing projects because I want them to understand entrepreneurship. Every single one of them has worked at the Jack in the Box or the Taco Bell or the this or that and the other. And that's good. And I want them to have that experience. Totally. But I also want them to understand this is a new world. They don't have to go through what I went through, working at a pizza shop since I was 15, helping to pay the rent. They don't have to do that. It's a new world. So you want to train, you want to give them some upward mobility too. You know, I know some people who work with their sisters or their brothers or like mother, son, mother, daughter, or best friends, or like, get together with one other person. You don't have to do this by yourself. If you're still with me, I want you to say, I'm still with you. It's at the end of the video and I'm still here because I want to know how many people made it this far. All right. I hope this has been helpful to you. I cannot wait to see what you do. I will see you inside Prompt Shop in a Box and your first 5K. We are going in every single day. There's not been one day that I have missed. Not one day that I have missed. We're in. We're in it and we're locked in and we're doing this.